The technical term is logistical regression, and it argues that a series of statistics from all the past baseball seasons will in fact tell you what's likeliest to happen this baseball season. It also argues that a series of poll numbers and voting results from all the past elections will tell you what's likeliest to happen this election. And now on our number one story in the countdown, it turns out it also argues that a series of facts about all the past Oscar winners will tell you who's likeliest to be the next Oscar winners. Yeah, it's Nate Silver again. He and his colleagues at Baseball Prospectus picked the Tampa Bay Rays to go from being really awful to really good last year. He then took the guessing out of decision 2008 by accurately calling every Senate race, even Minnesota, and nailed the winner in 49 out of the 50 of the states in the presidential election. Sorry about that, Indiana. Now in a feature for New York Magazine, he turns his high-powered statistical perception on Hollywood's biggest night and Oscar's biggest categories. He has culled trends and stats from the results of the past 30 Academy Awards, fed them into a magical stat-crunching computer, and arrived at a set of odds predicting the winners of Best Lead and Supporting Actor and Actress, Best Director, and Best Film. Joining me now is the man who will give you your Sunday night back, or perhaps help, so to speak, with your Oscar pool, Nate Silver. Good evening, Nate.
Good evening, Keith.
Looks like Ken Griffey's going back to the Mariners, but we'll talk about that some other time. Before we get to your actual picks, what numbers are you crunching here to arrive at these odds? Because to my knowledge, Meryl Streep has never encountered the famous 8,500 at bat batting average plateau.
Well, the one advantage we have with looking at the Oscars is that you have 4 or 5 other major awards that happen first, the BAFTAs and the Screen Actors Guild Awards and the Golden Globes. Most of the time, you know, you don't see wild splits between one vote and the other, so that's a big help.
And let's get right into them then. The first thing, supporting actor, a lot of people like Heath Ledger. You think he's going to run away with it? Why?
You know, I think this is a pretty safe bet. I mean, sometimes in the supporting actor category you have a bit of quirkiness occurring, but, you know, the guy is no longer with us. I think that tragic circumstance, plus the fact that he swept the other major awards, it was a terrific performance. I think this is kind of a slam dunk.
And you can say it because Harry Shearer said it the other night when he lost the Grammy to George Carlin, that the award voters like death. I mean, there's no other way around that. Move on to supporting actress. In your numbers, this is not a landslide. Why do you like Mr. Henson from Benjamin Button at 51%, or Ms. Henson rather, over that would have been a real upset if a Mr. Henson won Best Supporting Actress. But why do you like her over Penelope Cruz?
Well, this might be my undoing, I think, potentially. One problem is that most of the other awards had Kate Winslet winning for Best Supporting Actress for The Reader. Now, the Academy considered that a lead and not a supporting role, so we don't have a lot of data. So, you know, our model does like Miss Henson because, look, Benjamin Button was nominated for Best Picture. Those films tend to have an advantage in all the other categories, and it's not going to win any other award. There are little quirks it looks at, like, for example, Penelope Cruz, romantic comedies haven't done as well in this category, but this might be my mistake, I think.
I'm not saying that this is a disqualification in terms of predicting these things, but have you seen any of these movies?
You know, I've seen some non-zero number of them, much less than 100%. It's been a busy year with baseball and the election and everything else. So I'm kind of a movie buff, but more of a kind of Netflix kind of guy.
Yeah, when they start, when they send you, we'll know our Ms. Hensons from our Mr. Hensons when they start sending Benjamin Button in the mail to us. Between Mickey Rourke and Sean Penn for Best Actor, and the Oscar goes to?
Well, you know, here's one thing: is the Academy likes to spread the wealth. I mean, this part is true, where once someone's won an award before, they become much less likely to win a second time. Sean Penn won for Mystic River, I think, in 2003. So for that reason, Mickey Rourke, who has done just as well in the other awards anyway, is more likely to win. If you kind of think about it from a business point of view, if he wins this award, he kind of elevates himself to a different stratosphere, whereas, you know, Sean Penn's already a known commodity. So I think Rourke is the strong favorite.
All right, to Best Actress, the board looks a little lonely. You've got Kate Winslet over Meryl Streep and everybody else at 0.0. I mean, that's kind of embarrassing. Why is it? Should they stay home? They have no chance of winning?
Well, here's the flip side of kind of spreading the wealth, is that if someone's been nominated a lot but hasn't won, you literally have kind of sympathy points. You can actually see this where, and I think Kate Winslet's been nominated now 4 times without winning, and that really boosts her odds. Meryl Streep has won, but she hasn't won since 1982 for Sophie's Choice. She's been nominated 7 or 8 times since then. So these two are are due. Literally, it doesn't work in baseball, so they're in with the Cubs, but for the Oscars, it does.
Right. Once you put the human element in deciding the final outcome. You say that Slumdog Millionaire is the lock for Best Director and for Best Picture, but that Milk has a 1% chance of winning Best Picture. In sports terms, what would it be like if Milk, in fact, knocked off Slumdog Millionaire?
You know, it would be the biggest upset since, I mean, it'd be like the Rays, I think, actually reaching the World Series last year, maybe like Hillary Clinton winning New Hampshire or Driving Miss Daisy winning Best Picture in 1989. It would be a shock. The one reason why I think Milk might have a shot is because you know, Hollywood does kind of play makeup sometimes, and because Brokeback Mountain lost when it was supposed to win a couple of years ago because, you know, Proposition 8 passed in California, there's a lot of guilt there. And you might see kind of a makeup pick with Milk.
All right, we'll leave that possibility there, as you suggest, of 1%. Nate Silver of 538.com, who next moves on to predicting TV ratings. Great, thanks, Nate.
Yeah, good night, Keith.
That's Countdown for this, the 2,111th day since the previous president declared mission accomplished in Iraq. I'm Keith Olbermann. Good night and good luck.